movies. One of the most iconic 90s movies that I grew up to and I've watched several times was Twister. Fucking ripperonis to Bill Paxton, but fuck yeah, it was such a good movie. Wait, why'd you hate it?
I just hate that movie. I've seen it so many times.
Exactly, it's a 90s classic, like
No,
everyone's seen
I
it.
was forced to watch it. I didn't watch it by
Good,
choice.
good,
Good.
good. Yeah, exactly. Blasphemy. Such a good movie, though. I liked it. I could watch it like 10 times in a row and still enjoy it.
That's
It wasn't a
that's
bad
great.
movie. It wasn't a good movie either, though.
What movie is this?
It was a good movie. Twister.
Oh, I'm gonna
Iconic
swallow
90s movie that I could watch over and over again.
this. Not me. I've watched it enough. But it was fun.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to
it was
think
good
of
times.
other iconic 90 movies that came out in the 90s.
I liked Apollo 13. That's always a movie that I can never turn off if it's on. I love that
Yeah,
movie.
that was a good one, yeah.
It's better than Twister.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I do.
I like the science behind it. It was awesome.
What
The
science?
bullshit science behind Twister.
Yeah.
No, just the general
Science that
idea of
doesn't
how
work.
people wanted to learn how the tornado works from the inside. Like you got to know back
Well,
in
you
the
know what?
late 80s,
I was-
early 90s, no one knew shit.
Yeah. I never knew
great.
that, like, you know, a cheap belt you buy in the store, you can just tie to a fucking pipe and survive.
Yeah.
Fucking largest category
Well,
fucking
to be
Twister of all fucking
perfectly
time.
honest with you, Larry, they even said in the movie those pipes run miles deep, so
Yeah.
they will. There's you
That's
can't
good for
rip
the,
it
that's
out.
good for the pipes. It lifted a fucking cow up. Why wouldn't it just tear him in half? That cow
Yeah,
wasn't
well,
even in
that
the,
was-
like, the gust of it. It was just kind of just floating around. I just don't understand.
It's called it's called micro pressures and downdrafts. That's
They
what
should
was
have either
tossing the
A,
power around.
killed him, or B, didn't get him to stop there and find a
There-
different way out of that situation.
I'm gonna stop Larry there. I'm gonna throw science in his face because I'm just that type of guy. There have been several. Oh, what happened?
I'm just saying, though. Yeah, good stuff again.
Oh, no,
You rage
network
quit.
error.
I'm
Whatever.
sorry, I
don't
didn't
give a
mean to
shit.
shit on fucking Twister. I like
Okay.
Twister.
Anyways,
Calm down.
there have been
okay.
several cases over hundreds of years where people are picked up and thrown around by tornadoes and then land in
Oh,
the
I don't
field and
dis-
walk away.
I don't dis-
There was a
I
case
don't
in
doubt
the-
that. That's not what happened in the
In
movie.
the
though.
early 1900s, I think it was 1916 or
You don't have to make up
1918.
dates, man. I believe you.
Anyways, no, you can Google it. There was a train going to Kansas City, and it was picked up by a tornado and basically turned around and set back down on its own tracks.
Oh wow.
Okay, first of all, I just have to say
Really?
you're not throwing science in his
pretty
face. You're
nuts.
throwing anecdotes at his face.
Well, same shit
Yeah,
to me.
it's like-
I'm tired
hey,
as fuck.
I think if it can happen, it's gonna happen, or it could happen. You know,
Mhm.
it's fine. I don't doubt that. But I just think the ending of Twister was bullshit. I don't know why there has to be a love triangle. There's a bunch of shit I don't like about that movie. I wish there was
Oh,
more
I like it.
tornadoes. I wish there was more
It should have
tornadoes
been
in
about the
it.
Twisters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it should have
it
been
was,
more
though.
about tornadoes.
You
No,
gotta
I
think
don't
though,
even
back
mind-
then.
Like Dorothy and all that stuff was pretty cool. I just wanted
It was
more.
balls to the walls.
Bruce Campbell did a made-for-TV version that's better, and that's saying a lot. And I think it's called
I
Tornado.
didn't even
and
watch
it was
it.
on Fox. It's the same fucking
never
story,
watched it.
except instead of having to go to the theaters and see some fairly good special effects for its time. That was the big thing to go, was the special effects. And the
Yeah, Twister
movie
was
could've been
fucking
good,
balls
but,
to
like,
the wall for that.
Yeah, but there's only like 3 Twister scenes, and they were really quick. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
they had to be.
well, I get it. No, don't get me wrong. I ain't blaming them. They still spent a shit ton of money on it. You know,
Oh
they
fuck
still
no!
look good.
Their budget was limited, and they were pushing it already. Like when they dropped the tanker truck and fucking caused that big explosion, that was a big chunk of money back then. I was like, ooh, fuck, that's big budget.
I bet you the computer-generated tornadoes were more. You can say-
Well, Larry, you gotta understand that
they were
Twister
going-
didn't have the same funding as James Cameron did. Okay, thank you very much.
I think it did, man. It was a big budget movie.
No, Twister had less funding than Terminator. A
Than
lot
Terminator?
less funding. Like they had less money to play with.
Oh, I don't think so. I think Terminator was made with less money.
That's a Google question.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Don't forget to adjust for Blake's head.
No, shut up.
No,
Twister
we don't
budget
have
was
to.
92 mil.
92 million.
Mhm.
That's a modest.
That's decent for a 90s film.
And Terminator?
Anyways.
6.4 mil.
6.4 mil. yeah.
What? Are you
That was the budget.
serious?
Yeah.
That was the budget
Because
for the
they
first
spent a
Terminator.
When was
lot of
Terminator
money on
made, though? You
Twister.
gotta think the value of a dollar probably changed a fuck ton since the 80s.
That is the equivalent of 6.4 million in 1984 had the same buying power as 9.7 million in 1996.
Jesus fuck, Twister had fucking bejesus times more. Wow, I didn't know that.
Twister had a monster budget, dude.
Jesus fuck.
At least
Yeah,
it was
keep all
like,
the money. Take
there's
all
no-
the money.
yeah, like I was like
That-
wondering what you're talking about.
I really didn't know Terminator had a small budget. Holy shit.
He made it cheap, dude. I've always liked that. I haven't been fishing in probably about a decade at this point. I was catching salmon the size of my leg. They were huge. Out of Lake Ontario. I broke my leg that day. Yeah, I slipped and fell in the water. I was wearing those like boots that go up to your like mid-thigh. And like I slipped in the water and I fell and I caught myself at an awkward angle and I landed on some rocks. And I broke the bone that connected my my toe to my ankle.
Ooh.
I didn't break it all the way through, I just cracked it really good. And I was in like a cast for like, well, I moved back to BC, so I had to take a Greyhound bus with a straight leg cast all the way across Canada. And I got on in Toronto, and in Manitoba they lost my crutches.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and it was multi-day after that, like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, I'm surprised the Greyhound didn't compensate for losing your crutches like that.
They were fucks. They're fucks. This is I think this is around the time, I didn't want to complain or anything like that. I was just very paranoid because I think it was around the time that fucking Asian guy went crazy and chopped that guy's head off on those fucking Greyhounds.
Oh yeah, the guy like nicknamed the raccoon or something.
Oh yeah, he just fucking went fucking nuts and started eating that guy's face.
Yeah, I remember hearing about
Yeah.
that. That guy's out now too, eh?
Yeah, you know, it
Oh,
doesn't...
that's great. That's nice to know.
Yeah.
Well, it is, man. Next time you're on a Greyhound, if you get hungry, chewing on some guy's face and cutting his head off, you don't go to jail for that long, Jordan.
Yeah, I thought, didn't they let him out in like Manitoba or something like that? They said he was mentally fucked and they finally got him better or something.
Yeah, he was all fucked up in the head, and they let him go live in Manitoba. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds like.
I'm
Yeah.
okay with him being in Manitoba. He's 2 provinces away. There's a good buffer.
Yeah, it's not like he likes taking bus rides or anything like that, Chad.
Yeah.
Fucking guy loves to travel.
For a walk.
Saskatchewan, get bored halfway, and I'll stop in Saskatoon. We don't have to worry about him.
Yeah.
There's nothing in Saskatchewan. He's just gonna keep going.
Exactly.
It's just a bunch of flat shit.
Give up and go away.
There's plenty of
We'll turn
faces.
around.